Today, Ambassador Long Dan announced Chinese support for the North Korean claim that they did not intentionally launch the missile that sank the Walsh.
We are monitoring these developments while continuing to seek a peaceful resolution. Make no mistake, the Chinese People's Republic will employ all means at our disposal to protect our interests in the Asian subcontinent.
Our intelligence estimates that the current number of Korean troops massed at the border runs as high as 200,000 men. Monty?
Montgomery Lewis, The Times. Do we know what the possible North Korean strategy will be if diplomatic efforts fail?
We've known for decades that the NKA would move to capture Seoul as quickly as possible, regardless of the cost. That is how our defenses are structured. But with the capital less than 40 miles from the border, and well within artillery range of the big guns, it is clear that war would be catastrophic in terms of damage done and lives lost.
Fisher, I know you think the shortest distance to solving this problem is to go after Shetland. You might be right. Unfortunately, the diplomatic situation surrounding the Walsh incident is not softening. We are less than 24 hours from open war on the Korean Peninsula. We've located the battery that launched the missile against the Walsh. If there is any credence to the North Korean claim that the launch was unintentional, we need to prove it, and fast.
I've been reverse engineering the data you recovered from Zerkezi's computer in New York. Zerkezi's algorithm is an advanced extrapolation of the mass kernels made infinitely more complex by recursion through Dvorak. I think that if you can access the BIOS memory of the missile launchers at the battery, I should be able to ID a fingerprint that the algorithm would have left on the system.
You'll be doing a halo insertion into a forest 2 clicks east of the battery. You'll enter the battery's secure perimeter and infiltrate via the main air shaft. The battery itself has been around since World War II, but intelligence and satellite imaging show it's been retrofitted several times since then. We have some limited mapping data. We don't know what you'll find.
Since the destruction of the Walsh, the USS Ronald Reagan has assumed CNC duties for the battle group in the Yellow Sea. Our fleet is on red alert. In case of war, we are prepared to conduct precision sorties against high-value targets aimed at reducing North Korean coastal defenses for insertion behind their advancing front. If intelligence indicates that the Koreans are picking a fight, then it's a fight they'll get. Anyone in that battery when the whistle blows better find himself a tin hat and a Bible.
Japanese ISDF has been instrumental in determining that the missile that sank the Walsh was indeed fired from this battery. You have the complete support of all branches of the Japanese self-defense force in order to determine the rationale for this insane move by the Korean aggressors. We do not have the capability to strike the facility directly, but ISDF will use any means at our disposal to interfere with their capabilities in the event that our great American allies are forced to declare war.
Fisher, it's starting to look like war is unavoidable. JCOS is asking all sources for current division-level intelligence.
So, besides stopping World War III, is there anything else I can do for you this evening?
The base commander should have up-to-date intel about NKA divisional strength down the Kaesong-Munsan approach.
I'll try to schedule an appointment with the secretary.
Fisher, since everyone is asking everyone for intel, I'd love to have a few chips at the big table.
What can I get you, Will?
Looks like this battery has repair and maintenance capability for mechanized warfare support.
Did you
Any shipping or repair logs you can recover would be a big help.
Not
I'll find what I can.
It's just not that hard to count 8 giant crates. Look, I will double check. But if you screw this up, I'm going to have to report you.
Tell me something useful, and I won't stuff your corpse inside one of these crates.
The door code to get to the offices is 1879.
That's it? No resistance, no whining.
You're the one with the knife.
All right. Well, thanks for your time, then.
Let me give you my wallet, too.
Manufactured with extra vengeance. Destroy the enemy's
Launched its official Support Our Troops campaign today. Customers are invited to come out and fill out.
Good work, Fisher. Looks like they tracked shipping and repair through 4 separate departments.
Gotta love military bureaucracy.
See if you could get the logs from the other 3.
Now serving number 67.
In other news, National Home Renovation and Hardware Supplier Andy Hardwood launched its official Support Our Troops campaign today. Customers are invited to come out and fill out cards and letters of encouragement to our nation's fighting men and women. For each card filled out, Andy Hardwood offers lumber and materials valued at $10. boys a hand, and they'll give you wood.
What's in all the boxes?
My God, no!
Yeah, shocked and just answer the question. What's in the boxes?
I swear, I don't know. It's just my job to guard the room.
Fine, then tell me something you do know.
There is a hatch in the corner. It leads to the subfloor under the loading dock.
Really?
Check the boxes for yourself. I won't tell.
Hurry. Next.
All right, well, that's our work done. Let the control room take over.
Who's in the control room?
How should I know?
So what? We're just going to leave the missile hanging there?
Orders. Deliver cargo to loading bay at facility 27-290. Nothing in there about working a bunch of cranes that we're not trained on.
Fair enough.
In other news, National Home Renovation and Hardware Supplier, Handy Hardwood, launched
Something is going on here.
Customers are invited to come out and fill out cards and letters with directions to our nation's fighting men. Card filled out, Handy Hardwood offers lumber and materials valued at $10. Give our boys a hand, and they'll give you
Imagine I wanted to open these big doors.
My God, who are?
I'm the keymaster. You're the gatekeeper.
Oh God, I don't know the code. We're not from this base. We just deliver the missile and wait for someone to sign.
So how am I gonna get through?
You have to somehow climb through the shaft where the missile goes through.
Good idea.
Anything to help. You probably have to move the missile first.
Damn it! What was that?
Keep quiet or it's bad news.
Oh, God! Please, I'll cooperate!
Good. I'm looking for senior officers, a command center.
There's an elevator just there. It leads up to the command center. The base commander should be up there.
Thanks.
Please don't hurt me.
And on the front lines, Allied
Nothing here but ghosts and shadows.
Check. On terminal guidance. PSMAC.
Stupid cameras! We need better security!
I see what you're thinking, Fisher.
If they're just going to throw protocol to the wind and leave the warhead case unlocked,
Even detonating them won't destroy the battery.
no, but it will make an awful big mess.
lines, Allied forces continue their round-the-clock vigil of North Korean activity. It has long been known that the North Korean invasion strategy aims at a devastating push to the south.
Casing secure. Check. All right, pick up. Database online. Check. Terrain mapping active radar. Check. Coordinate mapping subsystem. Check. Coordinate cross checker. Check. Inertial displacement tracker. Oh. No, that's right. Check. Casing secure. Check.
Good work, Fisher.
I'm uploading the arming sequence codes for Grim. Lambert, if worse comes to worst, and I'm still here.
You don't even need to say it, Sam.
In other news, National Home Renovation and Hardware Suppliers.
Mr. Tomorrow is new toothbrush day.
What the? Weird. Come out from there and show yourself!
And on the front lines, Allied forces continue their round-the-clock vigil of North Korean activity. It has long been known that the North Korean invasion strategy aims at a rapid and devastating push for the South Korean capital of Seoul. If such an advance were successful, any hope of a quick resolution to hostilities in the Asian subcontinent would be jeopardized.
Our preliminary inspection of the West launcher.
And what is your report, Captain?
We did every test we could, sir.
And?
And, well, there was no malfunction, sir.
No malfunction. Curious. There is an $80 billion warship on the bottom of the sea, sunk by a missile that left this battery. The world is less than 12 hours from a war that will kill millions of people. And you're telling me that there was no malfunction?
We checked everything, sir. I assure you.
Well, Captain, the only two people in this building who could authorize that launch without approval are you and I. I know I did not do it, so if it wasn't a malfunction, I want you to run every test again. Then run whatever test the captain forgot until you find out what the hell happened with my missile.
Sir! Yes, sir!
Get out of my sight!
That seals it. The missile came from here, but they didn't launch it intentionally.
So that's a good thing. We can avoid a war.
Problem is that someone launched the missile intentionally.
Isn't that someone Doug Shetland using Zerkezi's algorithms?
That seems likely, but I still need to see if there's a Dvorak fingerprint on the BIOS of the launcher that fired the missile.
Damn it! I could have sworn I saw someone down there. Forget it. I don't want to find anything anyway.
stirring things. Let's just stay calm.
Crap! Well, what do we do?
I want to go home.
Don't bother with the who are you crap. We're too old for children's games.
Fine. What do you want, American?
This battery is on the logistics train down Kaisang San. What's the divisional strength?
Why should I tell you? You'll kill me anyway.
It's a game of position, Colonel, and you've already lost. Do you need to condemn 50,000 men as well?
They'll be your men, American, not mine.
They're not my men, Colonel, and they're not yours either. They're just men, husbands, fathers, sons. Same as you and I. Do they need to die for our mistakes?
We have 8-to-1 force ratios against your 2nd Infantry Division in armor, artillery, and infantry down the length of the approach.
8-to-1?
You cannot win. Kaisan Mutsan will be the breach point, and Seoul will fall inside of 72 hours. Old soldiers never die. Fit to serve, fit to rest.
Good Lord, Fisher. Those numbers triple our best estimates.
Damn. I know a lot of guys in 2ID, Lambert.
They're good men, but I hope their life insurance policies are up to date.
Good work, Sam. One more shipping log to go, and we'll have an accurate picture of their mechanized capabilities in the region.
I'll find it.
my eyes wide open.
Good job, Sam. From the parts and transport requests, it looks like this facility is significantly more important than our latest estimates.
Well, you know me. Always where the action is.
Alright, that opened the casing. You can access the motherboard on the launcher itself and recover any routing data from the BIOS. Good work, Sam. I'm scanning the BIOS now. Yeah, that's a Dvorak fingerprint.
Where did it come from? Hokkaido? The displaced offices?
Seoul.
What? As in South Korea? Are you telling me the U.S. just got drawn into a war protecting the people that sank the wall?
I can't trace it back farther than Seoul.
Well, what do I do?
Sweet Jesus, Fisher. The NKA just committed. They're coming across the DMZ. We're at war.
Why? We just found proof they didn't launch the missile.
Good Lord, speaking of missile launches, that battery just lit up like a smoker getting off an airplane.
They're not targeting our ships, are they?
Active radar is up. It looks like a launch is imminent. Fisher, you need to abort that missile.
You got it, boss.
Black hell! You're too late.
The warhead won't arm until it's a few hundred meters from its target. If I can dig up the abort codes.
Good thinking. Check launch control directly under the platform.
I'm on my way.
Make it fast, Fisher. Flight time on that missile is 3 minutes.
1 through 12, confirmed.
Engagement interface is online. Target tracking active.
Check,
Flight path and targeting computer showing all green.
check,
Flyer circuit shows green.
check,
Code lock circuit shows green.
check.
Primary target tracking readback start.
Ready for readback.
Primary target carrier, bearing 218.
Good work, Sam. Those are the abort codes.
I still need to bypass the override circuit from the missile control room.
Hurry. The missile is closing on the USS Ronald Reagan at top speed.
Hold on. Did you just tell me I need to win one for the Gipper?
Dude, what does that even mean?
Never mind. You're right, Grim. I am old.
1-8, range 112 kilometers. Confirmed.
Primary target is on score. All green. Trap 1 through 12.
Confirmed.
Engagement interface is online. Target tracking active.
Good job, Sam. Missile aborted.
That's it? It's dust?
No, but the warhead can't arm. Even if it gets past the Reagan's phalanx, it'll hit the hull and crumple like a beer can.
Crumpling beer cans. That's what sailors are best at, I guess.
Very funny. You need to make your way to extraction.
Right. I'm on my way.
Initial estimates place the combined casualty count for the first 24 hours at, oh my God, 6,000? Is this a typo?
90% or more of those are enemy casualties. Estimates put our losses at less than 1,000 men.
Less than 1,000? You say that like it's a good thing.
Sir, it's paranoia. Our saber rattling has their leadership in a panic. It's a preemptive strike. Our own intelligence indicates that they didn't launch that missile intentionally. And until we can prove it, Seoul is on the block.
What are our military options for holding the city?
No reasonable strategic assessment has ever claimed it was possible without nuclear capability. And if that's the way it has to be...
38 hours ago, the NKA committed to open war on the Korean Peninsula. We've known for 50 years that their objective would be to capture Seoul within 72 hours. It appears they have a real shot at it. South Korean and U.S. forces are using orchestrated retrogrades to channel individual NKA divisions along discrete corridors. 6 hours ago, the first of those divisions reached Seoul and is seeking to capture critical infrastructure. High on their list is a telecommunications switching station north of the city. Unfortunately, the IW attack that sank the Walsh came through this switching station. If the NKA gets their hands on that information, they'll be able to justify their invasion and possibly force the world to allow them to hold the country. We need to get that information before they do.
The information warfare attacks that launched the missile that sank the Walsh came through Seoul. I wasn't able to trace them back any further than the switching station, and I don't even know for sure that they didn't originate there. It's entirely possible that South Korea has manipulated us into war by forcing the North to attack the U.S. I would just try and hack my way in, but this is a fat, secure data pipe, and damage caused by the fighting has already isolated most of the entry ports. You need to get in there and recover the data manually, then broadcast it out point to point so we can take a closer look.
CIA maintains several safe houses in Seoul to facilitate insertion of agents and recovery of possible defectors. Usually, they're set up to look like ordinary residences. I'm currently working out a plan to have you forward inserted into one of these safe houses before 2ID performs another major retrograde. Once you're in, our boys will retreat, and the NKA front will overrun and bypass your location, leaving you in the wake of the main force, but still in advance of the support troops. You'll have a small zone of comfort, and I would strongly advise you not to stray from your AO. You don't want to encounter a battalion-sized force.
The USS Ronald Reagan is ready to launch an EA-6B Prowler rigged with a point-to-point laser receiver rig. Your man will be given a special transmitter that will track the plane and transmit the data. This comm setup is 100% secure. Nothing is broadcast, so nothing can be intercepted. Never mind decrypted. Once your man is in position, we'll send in the plane and get the data. But this is still a highly risky operation. Whatever you're promising me better be worth it. These planes are worth $60 million, you know.
Welcome to the 3-block war, Fisher. The main advance has bypassed your position. Expect sporadic fighting among units separated from the main force.
Whose side am I on here?
Your own. You're not a legal combatant. Anyone who sees you will attack on sight, friend or foe.